morning. My neighbor's working on their car. President Trump, or maybe they just got the notification that I went live and they're saying, hey, who knows? Big story dropped today that shows just how much Trump is always right and always win. This one's huge, and the media aren't going to give this one a lot of publicity because, well, it shows Trump was right. And you see the story about the Maryland man, Kilmar? This one is spectacular. Now, you remember Kilmar, the fake Maryland man, that's all the Democrats were talking about. I don't know, when was that? It was what, like 6 months ago? I mean, they were really obsessing over this guy. I mean, there's no getting around it. I mean, they were making this guy the father of the year and everything else, and Trump deported him, and all these people were calling me about due process. Of course, he got his due process. CBS News reporting, listen to this. Immigration judge denies Kilmar Garcia's bid to reopen immigration case. That's the Maryland man. An immigration judge in Maryland declined to reopen the immigration case involving Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the fake Maryland man. Welcome, everyone. Now this is CBS News, so this is written with a liberal spin to it. An immigration judge in Maryland declined to reopen the immigration case involving Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the Salvadorian man who was mistakenly deported. He wasn't mistakenly deported. He was deported with purpose and cause to his home country earlier this year and then brought back to the United States to face criminal charges, according to the Associated Press. The Maryland man's lawyers had asked an immigration judge in August to reopen the proceedings and allow him to seek asylum in the United States. While the bid was denied, Garcia can appeal the decision to the Board of Immigration Appeals. Good luck. This guy's been going to court for like 10 years, this human trafficker.
There's nobody more processed than him.
Exactly. He's had more judges and hearings. The Department of Homeland Security said his final order of removal stands. His lawyers tried to fight his removal from the United States, but one thing is certain. This Salvadorian man is not going to be able to remain in our country. Yeah, he beats his wife, and he's a slave trafficker. He'll never be allowed to prey on innocent Americans again, the Department of Homeland Security said on social media. And that is just a massive victory for Trump. Yeah, welcome, everyone. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Yeah, I know. Isn't that something? And, the media, they're not, even though that's a CBS News, they're not going to highlight it because he got exposed for what he was. They all rallied around this guy. And then you found out he beat his wife. And his wife said that. His wife went to court, beaten to a pulp, and said he beats me up. And then we found out that he was involved in human trafficking, which is the modern day slave trade. So he is as scummy and as lowlife as is humanly possible for a person to be. And where did they last deport him to? Because he's been contesting all these prisons. So he ended up like in Africa. Didn't he end up in Africa?
He's going to Uganda, I think.
Uganda, yeah. I don't even know if I could find. Could you find Uganda on an unlabeled map? I don't know about that. I don't think so. Maybe is that where Zohan's from?
Is he from there? I think so.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he can help him.
Yeah, he can help him out. That's right. Uganda. That's right. Uganda. That's got to be one of the worst places to go to prison, Uganda. Uganda prisons can't be all that great. Oh, my goodness. The cat just stepped on every key on my computer. I can't believe this. The cat just stepped on my computer, stepped on every key, and then what popped up? An ad for kitty litter. I can't believe it.
No way.
Is it monitoring that much to know that my cat is here?
And that's the litter we use, too.
Exactly. Oh, my goodness. That's crazy. Yeah, so that's great news. That's awesome news. Trump is right again. He's proven right again, and it makes the press sick. Now, this I'm not kidding about the ad. This is true. This other story with President Trump with the war on drugs, this is awesome. Okay, this is AP. Here's the headline. Trump says the United States is in an armed conflict with drug cartels after ordering strikes in the Caribbean. I'll go through this story a little bit. But, you know, a guy called me yesterday, the war on drugs has been going on since the 80s. They've said the war on drugs a lot, but there really hasn't been a war on drugs. And President Trump is doing it, okay? And, you know, but only when Trump stops drug traffickers is stopping drug traffickers a bad thing, right? It's so bizarre. I mean, they're arguing in favor of drug traffickers, human traffickers, wife beaters, criminals in the big blue cities and everything else. I mean, the liberals have really, they've lost their minds. But this is AP. President Donald Trump has declared drug cartels to be unlawful combatants and says the United States is now in a non-international armed conflict. So they're like terrorist cells. So we're not at war with a country, but we're in an armed conflict with these organizations, the cartels. This is according to a Trump administration memo obtained by the Associated Press on Thursday, following recent U.S. strikes on boats in the Caribbean. Boats, drug cartel boats. Congress was notified about the designation by Pentagon officials on Wednesday, according to a person familiar with the matter, who was not authorized to comment publicly. The memo, startling in scope, signals a potential new moment, not just in the Trump administration's willingness to reach beyond the norms of presidential authority to wage war, but in Trump's stated America First agenda. It also raises stark questions about how far the White House intends to use its war powers and if Congress will exert its authority to approve or ban such military activities. The move comes after the U.S. military last month carried out 3 deadly strikes against alleged drug smuggling boats in the Caribbean. At least 2 of those operations were carried out on vessels that originated from Venezuela. Why do they got to say alleged, right? I mean, you know, the things they say about Trump, and they've got to be politically correct with the drug cartels. These people are out of their freaking minds. They really are, and they don't even hear themselves anymore, do they? Mm-mm. Now, if you're new, make sure you subscribe, guys. Okay. Weak need, yeah. Well, you know, a lot of these, liberals are on drugs, so they're not happy that the drugs, you know, if you're a druggie, drugs have got to be expensive right now, right? I mean, I don't know. But the prices had to go up because they're blowing up the boats, so they're not coming in by sea. Trump shut down the border, so drugs have got to really be going up in price, I would imagine. I don't know. Anybody in here a druggie, do you know? Enemy combatants, like terrorist. So AOC she does these weird videos in her apartment trying to act like she's some girl in her dorm room or something with these videos, and she's talking about the health care coverage for the illegals and the government shutdown.
No, not even a little bit, not even at all. This is what Republicans love to do. Whenever we fight to elevate the minimum wage, to expand Social Security, to make healthcare better in this.
You know, AOC has like the biggest nostrils in Congress. Look at her nostrils, Kathy. Look, they're massive. She's got bigger nostrils than a man. Yeah.
No, not even a little bit, not even at all. This is what Republicans love to do. Whenever we fight to elevate the minimum wage, to expand Social Security, to make healthcare better in this country.
What do they mean expand Social Security? Who do you expand Social Security for? People retire.
Illegals.
And how do you expand Social Security? How do you expand Social Security? Other than give it to illegals, right? They didn't pay into it. Yeah, exactly.
To elevate the minimum wage, to expand Social Security, to make healthcare better in this country. In order to derail that, Republicans love to dangle this shiny object that says, but what if someone not like you gets it? The fact of the matter is, undocumented.
No, she didn't say.
Unlike you, she means non-white.
She didn't say increase Social Security. She said expand. Expand means expand the people that are getting it. If she was talking about giving people more monthly money, that would be increase, not expand.
One not like you gets it.
Oh, and let me rewind
in this country. In order to derail that, Republicans love to dangle this shiny object that says, but what if someone not like you gets it? The fact of the matter is, undocumented people do not and cannot access and be covered by the ACA, Medicaid, Medicare, period. There are dozens of laws in the books that enforce that.
But they don't enforce it. There's laws on the books, but they don't enforce it.
It's not true. They're getting tons of millions
Exactly.
of dollars in benefits. Everybody knows that.
They show up to a walk-in clinic, they get treated. They show up in an emergency room, they get treated, and they put it through the Medicare, and no one checks.
It's been this way forever. Remember we went to a hospital in Torrance in L.A., 30 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Almost 27, 28 years ago. And we had to walk through the emergency room area.
Yeah.
And you and I noticed everybody was Spanish and,
Mexican.
Mexican.
They were Mexican.
And everybody. And it was packed.
Yep.
And I got admitted and I said to the nurse, I mentioned it to her. She said, they're all illegals.
Yeah.
Every one of them. She said, that's why your hospital bill is so much, because you're paying for all their
Exactly.
She told me that. That was almost 30 years ago.
Exactly.
It's been going on forever.
Mm-hmm.
EU gets it. The fact of the matter is, undocumented people do not and cannot access and be covered by the ACA, Medicaid, Medicare, period. There are dozens of laws in the books that enforce that, and that can be a whole other conversation. However, the fact is the Democratic proposal doesn't change that either. We are trying to change the immediate cliff where the ACA, as well as community health center funding and other kinds of healthcare funding, are about to go off a cliff and hurt millions of people.
Yeah, illegal people. Now, I got a question for you guys. This is an easy one to answer in the chat. Who's crazier? AOC or Candace Owens? AOC or Candace Owens? Who is crazier? AOC or Candace Owens?
That's a tough call.
Candace Owens is talking about like her and Charlie Kirk, where he was going to leave Erica and marry her next, practically. She said that they were going to appear on stage together.
That's not true.
Come on.
This is all in her head.
Yeah. Though Jasmine Crockett's not a choice. Candace, AOC or Candace
Rosie
Owens?
O'Donnell.
Oh no, Rosie O'Donnell would win that one. That throws the whole thing out of whack. Yeah. Now they really got freaked out today when President Trump's meeting with the Office of Management and Budget, Voight, from Project 2025. That totally freaked him out. I think Candace got it in the votes in there. Here is CNN. They're talking about Trump meeting with Voight from Project 2025.
Russ Vought, who you heard mentioned in the previous segment, might not be a household name, but he's the president's budget chief, and he has an extensive amount of power here in Washington. Within the first 24 hours of this shutdown, Vought announced that the cancellation of nearly $8 billion that he said was fueling Democrats' climate agenda across 16 states, all of which have...
Where does that go? This $1 billion for the climate agenda, well, that's the total thievery.
Happened to be home to Democratic senators who voted against the Republican bill to keep the government open. Vought also announced the cancellation of roughly $18 billion of infrastructure funds for two key projects in New York City, as two New York Democrats are leading their party through this shutdown battle. That is the Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and the House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. During a surprise appearance in the White House briefing room this afternoon, the Vice President, J.D. Vance, was asked if he believes this amounts to political pressure.
The timing of this, does announcing that today mean that you guys are going to squeeze Chuck Schumer's home state until...
Yes.
Look, I haven't talked to Russ about this morning, but look, I'm sure that Russ is heartbroken about the fact that he's unable to give certain things to certain constituencies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they can figure out their climate crap on their own. Big scam in New York, ripping us off. But
a big scam.
How do they say his name? Vote? Looks like Voight to me, but they say Vote. V-O-U-G-H-T looks like Voight to me. Doesn't it look like Voight to you? They say Vote.
Voight has, what is it? V-O-U. Voight would have an I in it.
Oh, would it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, they say Vote.
I had a teacher named Mrs. Vogt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in 10th grade.
Well, as soon as I saw...
Maybe that's her husband. She was pretty young.
Maybe. As soon as I saw President Trump's post on True Social that he's meeting with the Project 2025 guy, I knew these liberals were going to just shit their pants. I mean, they can't. They're just obsessed with. They're just obsessed with Project 2025. Here's MSNBC.
Try on Capitol Hill, where House Republicans are about to hear from Budget Director Russ Vought.
Yep, Vote.
So he already works for Trump.
Yeah, he's the director of the Office of Management and Budget.
So that's part of his job.
Exactly.
I mean, this is nothing shocking. He's been working. Part of his job is the budget. That's what he does.
Yeah, he's the director of the Office of Budget and Management.
Why is this a big deal?
He's the boss of the office that handles the budget.
So obviously he's going to meet with Trump about this.
Exactly, and they're having just a fit.
Is Kevin Fry on Capitol?
How dare this scandal? He's meeting with the director of the Office of Management and Budget about the budget. Holy crap! How dare he? How dare he?
Is Kevin Fry on Capitol Hill, where House Republicans are about to hear from Budget Director Russ Vought. Kevin, what more do we know about this meeting and what it might mean for the shutdown fight?
Right. I mean, this is essentially, presumably, kind of a conference call on exactly what the next steps are in terms of the White House's approach to all of this. I mean, some of this has already been signaled publicly, of course. The OMB releasing that memo just a few days ago, signaling that they're going to go further than just furloughing folks, but actually terminating their jobs. Perhaps we'll get some more details coming out of this call on that. This also, though, comes as Vought just today announced that he is freezing, the federal government, the Trump administration is freezing about $18 billion for major infrastructure projects in New York.
I'd like New York to tell us what these major infrastructure projects are that we're getting $18 billion. Okay.
You know, I've only been to New York once, but I got to tell you, I watch a lot of live streamers that are in New York City. There is always freaking construction.
It's nonstop. It's a big racket.
Exactly.
It's a big racket.
And believe me, Trump
they never
knows
stop.
more about that than anybody.
They never stop. Exactly.
It is endless.
Yeah.
There's always road construction. Every video
Exactly.
I see. I mean, it's crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a big scam.
Yeah.
Like everything else.
He is freezing, the federal government, the Trump administration is freezing about $18 billion for major infrastructure projects in New York. Of course, the home state of Congressman Jeffries and Senator Schumer, the top two Democrats here on Capitol Hill, for such big projects as this tunnel under the Hudson River. That has been blasted by Democrats already as essentially mafiosa tactics. And one senator telling reporters today that he believes this should stiffen the spine of Democrats as this shutdown battle now gets into full swing. In terms of what leadership is saying, it's quite frankly the same talking points we've been hearing for some time now. Their lines in the sand are being drawn. Take a listen.
Democrats want to avert this crisis, but Republicans tried to bully us.
Yeah, well, and we've won.
There's nothing they can do.
They've got nothing. So here's another report on MSNBC. They're just totally freaked out about Russ Vought. They're just totally freaked out about this guy.
Even though he works for Trump in the budget.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, they're in a complete panic mode over this. Like something's happened. He's the director of the Office of Management and Budget. Of course, when there's a budget thing that the president's dealing with, he's going to have the director of the Office of Management and Budget come and talk to him.
So, Michael, let me bring you to today. President Trump posts on social media he's meeting with Vought today.
They act like this is some scandal. Like, well, this is some shocking breaking news. He's meeting, you know.
Quote, to determine which of the many Democratic agencies he recommends to be cut and whether or not those cuts will be temporary or permanent.
Permanent.
Is this what Republicans voted for when they voted unanimously to confirm Russ Vought at OMB? Is it?
Yes, this is what we voted for. This is exactly what we voted for.
What voters voted for?
Yes.
Yeah, well, yes to both.
Oh, what the hell does Michael Steele know about Republican voters, this fake Republican running?
You know, I'm sorry, we have a civic responsibility as citizens to fully flesh out what a presidential candidate intends to do. Donald Trump told us that he wanted to be a dictator. Donald Trump told us he wanted retribution.
Yes, okay. They have no sense of humor. They have no sense of humor.
No,
they have no, like, they take everything literally. I mean, they're like brain dead.
Donald Trump lied about...
Now, keep in mind, this guy used to be the chairman of the Republican National Committee, and he's talking about President Trump like this.
Not knowing anything about Project 2025, but as he tweets out today, he's fully aware of what it is because it is executing a strategy within his own administration. So, you know, there was a lot of BS and lying about what this wasn't. Certainly on the weekend, we started talking about this a year before we got here.
Oh, boy, a lot of we there. What a jerk. What a jerk. Yeah, these people.
I love watching them have these meltdowns.
Oh, I love it.
I think that's all they can do is bitch and complain.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it.
Now, did you guys see at the Ryder Cup there was another major Secret Service fail? Did you see this? I meant to get to this morning. I didn't get to this today, but listen to this. An NYP detective who's on sick leave snuck into the Ryder Cup in full tactical gear and his gun, claiming he was in Trump's security. This was in the New York Post. He made it into the tournament, claiming he was with Trump's security. He claims he was working a detail with the feds, and he got in full tactical gear and a gun. Just completely and just completely nuts. I mean, you know, this whole idea that the Secret Service are elite has just been a lie. It's been a lot of it's probably always been this way. I mean, they got Kennedy killed. You know, there were 2 assassinations on President Ford within 3 weeks of each other. One of them, I can't remember if it was one of them was Squeaky Frome. The other one, whose name I can't remember, she just died last week.
Reagan was giving a speech and some guy walked right up to the podium
and broke the award that he was being, a glass award.
Yeah, I mean,
and
what the hell?
With President Ford, 3 weeks, they had 2 in 3 weeks. One of them was Squeaky Frome, and the Squeaky Frome from the Manson family. But the other one, who just died last week, like 90 years old or something, she got up to President Ford right up and put a gun in his face, pulled the trigger, and it didn't go off. You know, and of course they got Trump shot. Then the thing at the golf course, the Secret Service suck. They just suck. They're not an elite. He needs to be under of like the Navy SEALs or some special forces unit from the military, because the Secret Service suck. I'm sorry.
How did this guy just walk in?
He had a gun and a badge. He had his NYPD shield. You know?
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, you know.
That's crazy.
You gotta be careful.
You can order that. You can order half that stuff off freaking Amazon. You know?
Stupid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now, every day, Candace Owens, she gets on these kicks, like I guess she's done with Macron, because I guess whatever that proof was that she gave, that photo proof that she's a woman, she's moved on. So every day there's a new Charlie Kirk conspiracy. Now she's saying that the shooter might have had a female accomplice in the Charlie Kirk assassination.
Well, we came across something more solid. We reviewed the footage that Shawna brought her. Of course, we downloaded everything, but hadn't actually reviewed it, had wiped from the internet. And the proof is in the pudding, and I'm going to let you hear it. Now, to set this up, you will recall that Shawna and his close friends that nobody knows, apparently, they were retracing the footsteps of the killer. They were at his grandma's house, he said. And he's speaking on camera with his aunt to set this footage up for you. And sure enough, you're going to hear right in the beginning, his aunt is going to mention that there was a woman who was helping the shooter. She's not sure whether or not that person was an accomplice. I would say if you're helping the shooter, you were an accomplice, but somehow we all missed this in this actual clip that Shawna had posted and has since been wiped from the internet. Take a listen.
If you time how long it took him to get from that little part over to here, was way longer than it should have been. So I wondered if the girl had given him stuff, like if there is an accomplice. Sorry, you're filming.
And it said right here, that picture from Sam's across the street, he was right here.
Yep.
What kind of freaking evidence is this? A couple people walking on a dirt trail out in the field saying things? If she was really a friend of his, would she be coming up with a new conspiracy theory every day or two like this? And one thing I've not seen from her is any sadness, right? I mean, have you guys? I haven't seen any sadness at all from her, when she talks about these things. It's becoming her whole life, or at least her latest thing. Yeah, welcome. If you're new to my channel, my name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. All right, make sure you subscribe. Here's Rosie O'Donnell, who went to Ireland to get away from Trump, And she went all the way to Ireland to make videos to post on social media all day about Trump. She could have done that here.
Now trying to turn our country into a dictatorship, an authoritarian nation, which we are not and we won't stand for. And
what does she mean we? She's in Ireland now, okay? Exactly. She's not in the United States.
Now trying to turn our country into a dictatorship, an authoritarian nation, which we are not and we won't stand for. And did you see those unhinged speeches that he and Pete gave to all the generals in the armed forces?
Unhinged? That was one of the greatest speeches I've ever seen in my life that Pete Hegseth gave. Pathetic. Yeah.
Did you see their faces? They did not look happy.
No, because they're all woke jerks.
They didn't look pleased. They didn't cheer their commander-in-chief. They're our last hope. The American military, these lifelong public...
What is she calling for a military coup? Does she want the generals and the admirals to rise up and take over the government from President Trump? She's calling for a military coup. Isn't that what she's saying? Hold on. Crazy. She's out of her freaking mind.
In the armed forces. Did you see their faces? They did not look happy. They didn't look pleased. They didn't cheer their commander-in-chief. They're our last hope. The American military, these lifelong public servants whose job was to protect the U.S. and the Defense Department, not the War Department, no matter what you say. It's never going to be the War Department in America.
It is.
It was.
And it was for most of its history.
So stupid.
It's only been the Defense Department for 60 years, right? But is she calling for a military coup? Does she want the generals and admirals to rise up and take over the country?
He can't rename things just because he feels like it and change the essence of what they are.
He's the president.
Oh, really? Like they renamed all those bases and mountains and stuff?
But a boy can become a girl. But he can't rename the Defense Department.
How many bases did they rename? They even renamed a mountain. They got rid of Mount McKinley.
That's right.
Who was a president, by
That's
the way.
right. They renamed all those army bases and everything. Yeah.
Crazy motherfucker. Seriously, people. What's it going to take?
Hates Trump so much.
What's it going to take? It's going to be too late and you're all going to go, we didn't know. You knew. You knew. In case of emergency, break glass. It's an emergency, people. Break the glass. Take out the fire extinguisher. The place is burning down. Got to do something.
Yeah,
what do you want them to do?
She flees to Europe.
Exactly.
So what is she doing?
What a joke.
Got to do something. Shame on the Supreme Court. Shame on all the sycophants in the Senate.
It's sycophants,
Shame on
not
Mike
sycophants.
Johnson. And there's a guy here that's threatening to put up his Grindr account.
No, Mike Johnson. Of all the people, why?
So she's gay. So is that a bad thing?
To be gay is bad. Yeah. I'd like to see Mike Johnson's Grindr account. I can't forget of all people.
He does have nice skin.
He has perfect hair too.
Yeah, he does. He always looks nice. He's definitely. So
Let me rewind
a bad
that.
thing for her?
Yeah.
I thought being gay was okay. She's an idiot.
Do you guys want to see Mike Johnson's Grindr account?
That is hilarious.
Oh my gosh! Oh, I gotta go back.
She is. So
I gotta hear
sad.
that one again. Let me rewind.
So
Let me rewind. I gotta hear that again.
It's going to be too late and you're all going to go, we didn't know. You knew. You knew. In case of emergency, break glass. It's an emergency, people. Break the glass. Take out the fire extinguisher. The place is burning down. Got to do something. Got to do something. Shame on the Supreme Court. Shame on all the sycophants in the Senate.
Again, it's sycophant, not sycophant, okay?
Shame on Mike Johnson. And there's a guy here that's threatening to put up his Grindr account. Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, it would.
A Grindr account for Mike Johnson. Nothing would make me happier.
Wow.
Hypocrites, all of
being
them.
gay is
treason.
She wants a military uprising and somebody to put up fake Grindr profiles on Republicans.
She is so pathetic. She crosses the Atlantic Ocean to get away from Trump. She talks about him now more than ever.
I know. She misses him over there. She misses him.
I really think she's in love with him. She loves Lyle Menendez.
And Tom Cruise.
So, you know.
Down for Mike Johnson. Nothing would make me happier.
She does like guys.
Hypocrites, all of them. Treasonous.
Oh my God.
Treasonous.
She's insane.
You think that those generals who have spent their whole life defending the country and
She's a lunatic.
With all their underlings' lives in their hands.
Underlings? She has a hard time with words. It's underlings.
She's stupid.
Not underlinks.
She's inarticulate.
Did she say underlinks?
Underlinks.
Sycophants, underlinks.
Okay, she's dumb.
She is really a stupid
She's
person,
dumb.
Rosie, yeah.
She's dumb. Sorry.
With all their underlings' lives.
Yeah, underlinks. She said underlinks.
I don't know what that is. I've
She's
never heard
she's
that
smarter
word.
than Trump. It's not a word. She's
That's about the fifth
she's
word
ignorant.
she said wrong.
Yeah.
Tree and
She's really stupid.
with all their underlings' lives in their hands. Do you think they're going to listen to the felon and the drunk?
Who's the
I
drunk? Oh, Pete.
I don't think they are. And, you know, that's...
Where do they get this idea that he's got a drinking problem?
They pushed that story when he was first got nominated.
Yeah. It's total BS.
Remember, there was that woman that came forward that was married that said they had an affair and that he was drunk. Oh, so what? That's one time? That makes him an alcoholic? You know, because he was drunk one time?
The only
at a
person,
party?
there's only one man I know that's never been drunk. Donald Trump.
That's exactly right.
You know? That's right.
He's a teetotaler.
Exactly. Awesome.
In fact, when they had the wine when he met with the king, they brought out this wine from 1912. That was his mother's birth year.
Yeah.
That's why they brought it out. It was Mary Trump's birth year. He didn't even drink that wine.
Isn't that something?
He didn't touch it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
The drunk? I don't think they are.
Well, they're going to have to.
And, you know, that's our hope.
Then quit. Resign.
The military says no, we will not listen to you.
Hear it? She's calling for a military uprising.
One of these
again.
generals stands up and says, we're not doing it.
Wow. Military
You know,
coup.
when he said, if you don't like what you're hearing, you could get out. How I wish they all stood up and walked out.
Wow, she's calling for a military coup. And that's to her, that seems all right. A military coup?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, my goodness.
What would he do then? Hire more of the insurrectionists from January 6th? Give them their army
everything, isn't
uniforms,
she?
their medals?
She is really sad.
We're living in a dystopian nightmare, folks. Yes, we are.
She is obsessed with Trump.
And it's terrifying. It really is. Hold, please. You ever see that commercial that you put on this, like, back brace thing and you pull the straps and it makes your shoulders go back? Do you think that works?
What the freak is she talking about? Oh, my goodness.
Rosie needs a job.
I'm sitting Indian style here on the bed. I don't know if you're allowed to say that anymore.
Racist.
Exactly.
Rosie needs a job. Bad.
Who would hire her?
Nothing to do with her life.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
She's a sad woman.
God, could you imagine what she looks like in the morning naked? Oh, my God. She's got to look at herself in the bathroom in the morning. Oh, my goodness. All right, here's Zohan Mamdani, your tolerant liberal running for mayor of New York.
Because my mother made a film called Mississippi Masala and met my father in the process of it.
I love all these people that applaud. Who the freak has seen Mississippi Masala? Woo! You know, they all clap. I hate when people do that. It's such crap. Who's ever seen that movie?
Because my mother made a film called Mississippi Masala and met my father in the process of it. And at the time, she was looking for funding for that film, and she told the story. It was about a love story between an African-American man and an Indian-Ugandan woman. She went up to a financier, and he said, where are the white actors in this story? And she said, don't worry, they'll be the waiters. And she taught me that if we don't tell our own stories, no one else will. And
so white people will be servants. That's Mamdani's
Why did he tell that story?
To let everybody know he hates white people.
Yeah, because that's what they're running on now.
Yeah.
That's their whole platform is anti-white.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, can you imagine?
No.
They've become, well, they're Democrats. I mean, that's what they do.
That's
they're
what
bigots.
Democrats, exactly.
They're bigots. It used to be anti-black, now they're anti-white.
Mm-hmm. Democrats have always been bigots.
Well, I was watching somebody on one of these guys, I can't remember who it was, and they were asking him why the Democrats have embraced the illegals, this and that, and he said because they have lost their voter bases. They have lost so many voters that they're trying to create new voters with the illegals because they really, if once they're out, they got nobody.
Exactly. Exactly. Welcome. If you're new to my channel, my name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure you subscribe.
Well, it looks like that guy Mondami's going to win. He's 90%. The Adams dropping out did nothing.
I mean, I can't help New York. I mean, if you know, New York wants to become, you know, part of the Islamic State, whatever they do, you know.
If I lived there, I'd sell my place.
You better, the property value is going to go. You know what the crime's going to be like? Oh, my goodness.
He's going to destroy that place. It's going to become San Francisco.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, you know, all these people don't get paid with the government shutdown, but the members of Congress get paid. Their staffs don't, but they get paid. So a reporter today asked Hakeem Jeffries if he's going to take his paycheck during the government shutdown. Listen.
So there's been several members of Congress that have asked their pay to be withheld if this shutdown extends. Do you advise Democratic members to do that, or is it up to them?
Yeah, that's a question that every individual member is going to have to make on their own, as has always been the case in the past.
Will you withhold yours?
First of all,
will you withhold yours, they said. So they said, will you withhold yours?
This has always been the case in the past.
Will you withhold yours?
First of all, that question is not even a ripe one because we're anticipating that this shutdown issue will be resolved.
That means, he'll take his paycheck. Wow. You hear that? What a jerk.
He is a jerk.
Has always been the case in the past.
Will you withhold yours?
First of all, that question is not even a ripe one.
Oh, really? I didn't think there was. I thought there was no such thing as a wrong question or a bad question. This was one of my favorite clips yesterday from J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance at the press conference yesterday, they asked him if that sombrero thing with Hakeem Jeffries was racist.
Mr. Vice President, just going back to the sombrero, you said that the president's joking, but Hakeem Jeffries says that these memes were racist. What's your response to that? And just if I may briefly go off topic.
Oh yeah, then he's going to ask him about the beard thing first. So with Pete.
Secretary Hegseth yesterday made an edict about no more beardos in the military. Just wondered what.
Sorry, what did he say?
No more beardos.
Beards.
Oh, sorry, it's my accent. Just wanted your response to that.
I didn't see that particular comment. I thought Pete gave a hell of a speech, and a speech that really is just oriented around returning the American military to the very high standards that it has had for virtually its entire history until Joe Biden came along and decided to lower standards. I think it was bad for our military, and it was bad for our troops. When I was a young United States Marine, I did not have a beard. I am now the vice president, so I get to do what I want to do. But I think Pete's trying to re-implement high standards, and that's a very good thing. On the sombrero thing, I mean, Hakeem Jeffries said it was racist, and I know that he said that, and I honestly don't even know what that means. Like, is he a Mexican American that is offended by having a sombrero meme? I mean, I saw one of the major TV stations put the meme up and then say, this is AI generated. And he had like the curly animated mustache too. It's like, do you really not realize the American people recognize that he did not actually come to the White House wearing a sombrero and a black curly animation mustache? Like, give the country a little bit of credit. We're all trying to do a very important job for the
American. Yeah, I mean, that point he made at the end is very, very smart, what JD said. Is the media think that the American people are so stupid that they had to put on the screen, this is an AI generated image. Like, people didn't know the mustache or the sombrero was fake. You know, that's how they feel. You know, that they think we are.
Well, that's part of their
stupid.
Personality. They have an elitist attitude that they're better than everybody.
Now this has been circulating quite a bit. This was from the Democrat presidential primary. And who's that girl that's on the Today Show? I forgot her name. Savannah Guthrie. Savannah Guthrie's moderating. Savannah Guthrie. And she asked this question. This is a Democrat primary. Raise your hand if your government plan would provide health insurance for undocumented immigrants.
Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
Every single one of them raises their hand. Okay. Kamala, Bernie, all of them. Mayor Pete, all of them. All of them.
That's the new... All they do is pander. And that's who they're pandering to now. That's their new base, and they've lost everybody else, so they're pandering to them. They don't understand. I don't know. They just don't understand what they're doing is so bad and stupid. It's just not going to go anywhere.
No.
The American people are not going to tolerate... There's too many people... in the system now. Joe Biden brought in 25 million almost.
Yep.
That's too many people in such a short time.
That we're
It's
supposed to
always been
support.
people here that have been illegals, that have been on healthcare and this and that.
Yep.
But it's like people saw the images of the caravans and the tens of thousands of people coming in just with an open border, and then Mayorkas going on TV. The border's closed, lying his ass off. And it just infuriated everybody.
Exactly.
I mean, it was like gaslighting to the max, and like, you know, just flat out lying.
Exactly.
And that's what pisses people off.
Yep.
It's like, you know, don't tell us this is not happening when we see it with our own eyes.
Exactly. Now this is
Crazy.
Candace
They just keep
Owens.
lying. They just keep lying.
This is Candace Owens yesterday. This was her one of her theories, a new one yesterday about
every day.
Yeah, this is about the coroner. This is about the Charlie Kirk coroner.
God.
We mentioned that apparently it was kind of everybody's first day on the job, right? 9-10 was everybody's.
Oh wait, you know, you got to be careful of people who refer to themselves using we instead of me or I.
Right.
That's you a crazy person. It's called the royal we, but it's a sign of severe narcissism and complete lunacy.
We mentioned that apparently it was kind of everybody's first day on the job, right? 9-10 was everybody's first day on the job, meaning that there were a lot of these recent and brand new hires in Utah that would all kind of come across and have to deal with this case. Kash Patel, I told you, cleaned house at the state borough. He then installs a person that has a long tenure in D.C., Robert Bowles. His first case is Charlie Kirk's assassination. Why would he want to uproot and move his family to Utah after having roots in Virginia for so long? I don't know. That's the circumstance. Also, I told you there was a new CEO and therefore a new lead surgeon, Andrew Zenger, over at the hospital, the regional hospital that Charlie was taken to, although that was not the nearest hospital from the university, and it also ranked extremely low in terms of the most best equipped hospital, if you will.
Well, maybe the security team, when they put him in that car, didn't know where the closest hospital was, right? And they just went. I don't know. What's their point here? Is this another conspiracy that they had all these inexperienced people in place so they couldn't? I don't know.
To deal.
Now, you know, let me tell you this about the Charlie Kirk assassination. I do believe, and I said this on the day that it happened, that the shooter's the shooter, but he's a patsy, okay? And there was a larger deep state political assassination that went on here. I do believe that, and it was to stop Charlie Kirk from doing his work, right? He had converted the youth,
well,
you know,
like
to Republican, to MAGA.
Oswald came out and said, "I'm a patsy,"
Yeah.
and then he got shot. So why do these guys? If he's a patsy, why isn't he saying anything? Why is he taking all the heat?
I don't know. Well, he may not know he's a patsy. Oswald was a little different. I don't think he knows he's a patsy.
Right.
Oswald knew
immediately.
Well, Oswald was in with the feds all along, right? Remember, he defected to Russia. They let him come back. See, we'll never know the truth because they killed him. But I mention this a lot because I find it fascinating. Lee Harvey Oswald's wife was a daughter of a Soviet general that he married after he defected to Russia. What kind of guy defects to Russia in the freaking 50s and early and is allowed? Well, no, and is allowed back in the country during the McCarthy era and all that stuff going on. He was so in with the feds, Lee Harvey Oswald. Come on, they let him back in the country with his Soviet general daughter wife.
Because there was a documentary, I saw a clip of it, and a guy that he trained Lee Harvey Oswald. He's an old man now, and he said he couldn't. He was a horrible shot. He said he wasn't a good shot. He said so there was somebody else there that got it because it was like a perfect shot.
But this here, I do believe there was a wide conspiracy to assassinate Charlie Kirk to stop him from doing his political work. And I know a lot of people are picking up the charge and debating students and everything, but they're not going to be able to do what Charlie Kirk did. He converted millions of young people into MAGA Republicans. Yes. And this was an election strategy by them. So when I give Candace Owens a hard time, it's not that I think this lone lunatic that with his transgender boyfriend did this case closed. No, I think this was a major political assassination with deep state political operatives around it.
You don't think it was Israel?
No, I don't think it was Israel. I think it was the people with Americans. I think Americans killed Charlie Kirk. We're behind it. Now this guy, but the shooter's a patsy. He doesn't know he's a patsy, but he's a patsy. That's my. Do you guys agree with that? With my theory?
Like he was maybe maybe the Thomas Crooks, like just a useful somebody who was like pushed into something in these chat rooms and things.
Yeah, Debbie agrees. Yeah, I mean that's so I don't want you guys to think that I don't believe that there was a wider conspiracy around, because I do, but just
why do you believe that?
Because what he was doing was so powerful and important. There's nobody had ever even attempted to do what he did, and he was successful at it, and because of it, the Democrats completely effed forever. I mean, they with what he was doing, and I know a lot of people say he was going to be president one day. It's not about that. It's about the next couple presidential election cycles. They have no chance to win without the youth vote. So so when I give Candace Owens a hard time, it's not. I don't want you to think I don't think there's any conspiracy around it. But every day she's got a new thing, and it's just
and
too much.
Some of them just sound nuts.
Yeah.
Like the tunnels.
Yeah.
There were tunnels and there was a trap door. I mean, she's just pulling a new thing out of her ass every day. It's bizarre.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, this is Ro Kahana. Do they have any Americans with American names in the Democrat Party? That it seems that every member of the Democrat caucus in the House is from another country. This is Ro Kahana.
In terms of health care, the reality is they're just not being honest. The amount of money that actually is going towards people who are undocumented is such a small portion.
That's not true at all.
Well, wait. Well, I thought there was no money going to the illegals. Now he's admitting that there is, right? Small portion, right? Exactly.
Of the Medicaid cuts or the Affordable Care Act, if at all. And so we can argue that point, but the reality that even the vice president would acknowledge, that anyone who looks at the numbers will acknowledge, is 90 to 95% of the funding we're talking about is talking about funding for American citizens.
I don't think the vice president would agree with this.
No, I don't think so either.
And folk.
Oh, here's Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett, she's not like OC. She's an act, okay? She's doing this. She's basically doing this blackface thing. She's pretending to be ghetto and saying stupid stuff for attention. She's a congresswoman without a district now.
As far as I'm concerned, you randomly kidnapping folk and you throwing them out of the country against their civil rights, against their constitutional rights. And frankly, how would they feel if some other country decided that they were going to just start throwing people randomly in our country? Like that is absolutely insane. So yes, all I got to say is y'all need to get these fools out of here. But
God, she's stupid.
Oh my goodness.
Who's dumber, Jasmine or Rosie O'Donnell?
Rosie. Jasmine's faking. She's trying to sound stupid.
I don't know about that.
Really?
No, I think you're giving her too much credit. I think
Really?
she's really dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, why would you want to try to sound stupid?
Yeah. Here's Karen Bass, mayor of LA on CNN.
Around racial profiling of Latino.
Oh, just lost it.
Referred to here. Around racial profiling of Latino.
Keep losing the internet.
Referred to here as the hunting of Latinos that has created a blanket of fear around this city and has had detrimental impacts to our economy.
Yeah, because they're all illegals.
Their whole economy is based on the illegals, right? The whole economy of LA.
We had 2 court decisions, and then the Supreme Court basically gave a green light to racial profiling. They are trying to dial us back to the 1940s, and that is a tragedy for the American people.
Whatever that means. Whatever that means.
That's the 40s when the family unit was together.
Exactly.
And we had after the war an economic boom and people could afford homes and cars and
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
What the hell they're talking about.
It is. Now this is what's his name? Fatso Pritzker, the governor of Illinois.
Appears that Donald Trump not only has dementia set in, but he's copying tactics of Vladimir Putin, sending troops into cities, thinking that that's some sort of proving ground for war, or that indeed there's some sort of internal war going on in the United States, is just frankly, inane. And I'm concerned for his health. The idea that you're going to go...
How nice of him, huh?
He's concerned for his health and he weighs 300 pounds.
Exactly.
Suggest that you're going to arrest...
He's the Chris Christie of Illinois.
...people, or that people don't deserve to be U.S. citizens when they are, just because they oppose the President of the United States. I mean, there is something genuinely wrong with this man, and the 25th Amendment ought to be invoked.
Oh, yeah, the cabinet's going to do it. Yeah, JD's going to do that, yeah.
That'll work. That's just really pathetic.
Isn't that something?
You know what they're doing, and this is what they do. They're just throwing everything out there to see what sticks.
Yep, and nothing's going to stick.
Everything they're throwing out there, and it shows you there's no leader of this party. We
That's
have
right.
a definite leader. They're all on different pages. They're all over the place. They're flailing.
Yep.
They even Gavin Newsom is not really a leader. He's a laughingstock.
No.
I mean, there's no real leader. The only one who makes any sense is John Fetterman, but don't be fooled by him because he always votes liberal.
Mm-hmm.
You go by what he votes.
That's right.
He might say these things that agree with MAGA, but his voting record is very radical.
Now, this is Hakeem Jeffries. Don't they have people with regular names in the Democrat? Hakeem, Ro Kahana. I mean, don't they have people with like regular names? This is Hakeem Jeffries on CNN with Jake Tapper. Let me just play it, then we'll talk.
The Democrats in the House, Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, Democrat of New York. Thanks for being with me, Leader Jeffries. So you maintain Democrats are ready to come...
Okay, now first off, this whole thing where they call them Leader Jeffries, Leader Schumer, and all this stuff, that's so bizarre. Is that, can they just call him Congressman, Senator? What's with this leader crap?
The table anytime with anyone at any place on any spending agreement. Vice President J.D. Vance today said the president's open to coming to the table on health care once the government is funded. Where are we at negotiations right now?
Well, we haven't heard from the White House since the White House meeting on Monday. President has been behaving, somewhat erratically in an unconventional fashion in the context of the government shutting down. Clearly, they wanted to shut the government down. Unfortunately, we're ready to work together to bring it back open, but to do it in a way where we enact a spending agreement that's bipartisan, that meets the needs of the American people, while at the same time...
Bipartisan means they have one Republican who's going to screw us over and vote with the Democrats. They call it bipartisan.
Yeah, it's usually Thomas Massey.
Yeah.
Addresses the Republican health care crisis that is devastating everyday Americans all across the country.
So you said erratic, and I believe you used the word unhinged the other day.
I did.
Are you trying to draw a line between President Trump's acuity, his mental state, and what's going on here with the shutdown?
No. I'm actually referring to some of his social media posts, which didn't seem to make a lot of sense.
The sombrero.
The sombrero. Oh, yeah. He just can't get over that.
Social media posts, which didn't seem to make a lot of sense.
The sombrero and the mustache?
Correct. Well,
made perfect
it would seem
sense
to me that as the President of the United States, on the brink of a government shutdown, if you actually wanted to bring everyone together to try to get to a resolution in a common sense, bipartisan way, that's not the type of behavior that we would see. So hopefully, moving forward, whether it's President Trump or Vice President Vance, Speaker Johnson, Leader Thune, that will actually come together to have a conversation to figure out how we can get the government reopened.
That sombrero video with him and Schumer, that is very upper level, sophisticated political commentary.
Immediately.
I put a picture in the Patreon. My mom just came through the border in Canada because she was in Canada visiting her family. And they have she sent a picture, all the toll lanes are closed except one. There's like 10 lanes because of the government shutdown. And just one lane
really?
is open, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So she said it takes
Stop this pain that Trump is inflicting on hardworking American taxpayers and at the same time resolve the Republican health care crisis, particularly as it relates to the Affordable Care Act and their refusal to extend the tax credits, which is going to result in tens of millions of Americans experiencing dramatically increased premiums, copays, and deductibles.
So right now, J.D. Vance says he's talking to other Democrats in the Senate. 3 Democrats, or 3 people that caucus with Democrats, Angus King of Maine, John Fetterman of Pennsylvania, Cortez Masto of Nevada, they voted for the continuing resolution. They only need 5 more Democrats. Are you worried at all about the more moderate Democrats caving?
Not at all. In fact, what I think, constructive conversations are positive. I don't know that these conversations have been constructive because for the last several months, what we've seen from the Trump administration is that they've adopted a my way or the highway approach.
That's right, because we won and we're in charge. We're the majority.
He voted with the Republicans.
Yeah.
Maybe he's changing his tune.
You adopt the my way or highway approach, and then you drop on us a partisan spending bill that continues to gut the health care of the American people, then the reality is they are going to drive us toward the government shutdown.
The partisan spending bill, is that the one big beautiful bill or the continuing resolution? Because the continuing resolution just funds the government at the current level.
Well, actually, the continuing resolution that they have presented to the Congress is a partisan bill. House Democrats voted against it in March because it hurt veterans, hurt seniors, hurt children, hurt child care affordability, hurt housing affordability, and hurt health care, which is why we opposed it.
You're saying that Chuck Schumer then voted for a Republican partisan bill because he voted for that. So did 9 other Democrats in the March.
Well, Chuck Schumer did explain his views on the merits of that bill at the time. I don't think he ever disputed that there were challenging parts of that legislation. The partisan bill is the one that's before us now. A bipartisan agreement on spending had actually been reached in December. Bipartisan majorities in the
Boy, they're flailing. They got nothing. They're all over the place. They have.
What the hell he was saying?
Well, either does he, Captain.
So Fetterman voted to what?
Schumer voted for the bill in the past. The current budget. He's voted for it in the past. Is what he's saying.
They're all over the place.
Exactly. They're completely all over the place.
Well, you know what? You know why? They have no conviction. They just go with whichever way the wind blows with polls. They do an internal poll.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, we'll do it based on this. There's no conviction like Trump and his team have, where they're going to do whatever they think is best, no matter what.
Exactly.
These jerks say.
Exactly. That's exactly right. I mean,
they don't know what they're doing.
Now, if you're new to my channel, my name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure that you subscribe if you're new. All right. Usually, I'm in the studio taking calls, but
Brian,
just hanging out today.
Haven't had a leader. Since Obama, if you can call him a leader. Joe Biden was no leader.
No.
They've really been flailing for a long time.
No, they haven't had a leader.
When was the last time they had maybe Clinton?
Bill Clinton.
Like a strong leader.
Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you saying?
Yeah. What is this? I'm not going to play that. I'm not sure what that is. Let's see. I think I went through most of the... Oh, my goodness. Greta Thunberg. Here, she's been abducted by the Israelis, she says. But apparently they let her make a video and post it to social media, even though they've abducted her.
My name is Greta Thunberg. I'm a citizen of Sweden. If you are watching this video, I have been abducted and taken against my will by Israeli forces. Our humanitarian mission was non-violent and abiding by international law. Please tell my government to demand my and the others' immediate release.
Nobody gives a shit what Sweden requests, but you think Sweden wants her back? You know, she's like, keep her. If Sweden's so happy, oh my goodness.
Gave up on climate change.
Climate change is over. Yeah.
It is over.
It's over. Yeah. She's moved on. She's got a new business.
That's right.
You know, anti-Semitism.
This one's more lucrative, I guess, for her.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Oh my goodness. Remember when she tried to get a picture with Trump during the first term and she couldn't get near him? He saw her and he got right away from her. I remember that speech. How dare you go to the children for the solutions? You know, nobody's going to the children, okay? Ugh. She's really a repulsive person, Greta. You got to feel bad for her. She's really abused by her parents who put her out there in all these weird things. Yeah, I don't know. Out of all of the other things she could have gotten into, why did she get into this pro-Palestinian thing? I guess the Muslims pay the money.
They're paying her.
Yeah, exactly. She's probably being paid. Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's the name of the game.
Greta Thunberg. Yeah. Well, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. My name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I'll see you next time, guys. Thanks for watching. Oh, tomorrow's Open MAGA Mike Friday. Open phones on the show tomorrow. The show prep is up to you guys tomorrow. You can call me about anything and everything on your mind on Friday's show. I can't believe it's Friday already tomorrow. So start doing your show prep. All right, I'll see you then. Take care.